Now back to the presidential race as former Vice President Joe Biden has gained ground in those key states of Pennsylvania and Georgia. Throughout the day, a number of prominent Republicans, including Senator Lindsey Graham and radio host Mark Levin, have been talking about the Electoral College. They suggest that Republican states choose electors who would vote for the president even if Biden wins. Gionet joins us tonight. Now, Colorado has some experience with Electoral College gamemanship.
That's right. We have experience with what are called faithless electors, and there's been some talk about that as well, because we've had problems with that in 2016. An elector who was supposed to cast a ballot for Hillary Clinton, but instead cast a ballot for John Kasich of Ohio, a moderate Republican, in 2016, in an effort to try and get Republicans to join him in an anti-Trump effort to deprive Donald Trump of Electoral College votes. But Colorado and the Supreme Court, we're having none of it.
Candidly, by a lot of people, you're still considered a traitor here in a way.
I think that's certainly one interpretation of it. I don't believe that I am.
We reached Micheal Baca in Las Vegas these days, where he talked to us about being a faithless elector 4 years ago.
I was in a position in a representative democracy where I had people to represent, but ultimately I had that free will. Or so I thought.
But Colorado didn't think so and replaced him, yanking his vote.
If you try to cast an incorrect vote, it's legally void, doesn't count, and in this case, if that's what you're doing, you get removed, and someone who's going to cast a legally correct vote will take your place.
Attorney General Phil Weiser got unanimous agreement from the Supreme Court this year.
In Colorado, there is no opportunity for an elector to go rogue.
But not all states are like Colorado, right?
That's correct. So the Supreme Court did state a huge advantage.
CU political science professor Ken Bickers notes the court said it's up to state legislatures, and some do allow faithless electors. But there's another reality. Faithless electors almost never have flipped and voted for an opponent, and Bickers says it's even less likely this year.
It's really hard to imagine an elector doing that. And because if they do, they better have a plan for where else in the world they're going to go relocate very quickly after that faithless vote is cast.
And Micheal Baca says if this election is close, don't expect any faithless electors, because that would ultimately mean surrendering their own party's political power. Only one time in history has a faithless elector flipped totally and chosen an opponent. And that was back in 1796 in the election between John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. And Jim, you and I have been around a long time, but I don't remember that one. In Denver, I'm Alan Gionet, covering Colorado First.
Oh, I do, Alan. That was a barn burner. Thanks, buddy.